Welcome to another Keelhauled podcast. I'm your host, CaptainLogun, and we have got a lot of Sea of Thieves news to talk about today, so hold fast. First off, scale test beta weekend. We are getting a third scale test beta weekend. I can't wait. This time, it's a lot different. All the stuff that you guys did in the last scale test, that's all carrying over. Everything you did, all your sins, all your gold, all your reputation, that's all coming over. So everything that you want to try and do now with older reputation or higher reputation, that's going to be possible. So get out there, get some quests done, get some gold, get some loot, buy some stuff. It's all going to be possible now that we have a little bit more progress. We don't have to start from scratch all over again. Alright guys, so yeah, this is a beta. This is going to be fun, but it's going to be painful as well too. Last time it wasn't so bad. This time they're telling us to prepare for the worst. What does that mean? Well, you're going to have some sessions interrupted. They're going to block people from coming in. They're going to bottleneck some of these services. Well, some of the services. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, you know how you're already having some problems turning stuff in, getting the reputation, the gold. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes you don't even get a little pop-up that says, oh yeah, you got credit for turning in that chest. They're going to be purposefully bottlenecking this stuff. They want to test it. They want to make sure that they can gauge how much activity people are putting in on these islands. So if you gather a whole bunch of chests and you take them in there, you may not get credit for all of them. You may get credit for all of them, and it may take an hour for it to represent. It's going to be hard to say, but just expect that to happen. This is a beta. They're also going to make sure that some of the shops are a little bit, well, they're not going to mess with them, but expect to have some issues buying stuff. So if you want to buy some of the stuff that you didn't get in the last scale test, you may have problems buying that in this scale test. They're going to be testing out these purchasing systems and these turn-in systems. They want to make sure that when this game goes live or when it goes for open beta, that people are excited and they're doing everything and they don't have problems turning stuff in. That's going to be a big focus on this scale test. What else are they doing? Well, they're also going to be throttling performance as well. They're going to be testing the game in different data centers around the world and simulating outages. They want to make sure that when this game goes live, that it doesn't matter where you're playing in the world, that you're going to have a good sailing experience, because that's the whole point of this game is to have an experience. You're not going through a story, you're creating your own story. And the only way to do that is to make sure that you have a good sailing experience. Alrighty, folks. Next on the docket is going to be what I found out in the community dealing with pirates that I want you to know about, and that's going to be the Plunder Cast. These guys are all in Australia. They record Tuesdays at some god-awful early time in America, so I apologize for not remembering the regular time in Australia. I want to say 9 p.m. I'm probably wrong, but I'll never get to see them early in the morning unless I just stay up way late. But I really appreciate these guys. These guys are hilarious. They did a great job doing their first episode right out of the gate. Sounds amazing. They're hilarious. They love drinking and swearing, so they're not exactly your friendly pirate podcast, but should any pirate podcast really be that friendly? Unless it's yours truly, of course. But PlunderCast, please give these guys a chance to listen to them. I know you'll love them. I love them. They're also doing a giveaway, so if you guys didn't even want to listen to them just because you were just that loyal to me, I can understand, but give these guys a follow on Twitter. You can find them at PlunderCast_SOT. They're giving away until launch 3-month Game Pass subscription on Xbox. That's right. If you were on the fence, which you shouldn't be with this game, especially if you're listening to my podcast, you can actually get to play this game for 3 months for free if you win with them. They're doing a giveaway. So I actually found them thanks to the Iron Fleet. These guys reached out and met with, didn't meet, but they basically reached out on Twitter. It's the same thing as meeting. They reached out on Twitter and let them know about my podcast, and then I found out about their podcast. They went ahead and shared my podcast with their community. I'm sharing it with my community. They're great. I love them. I can't wait for the next episode. They're hilarious. So looking forward to that. So that's again at PlunderCast_SOT. Give them a listen. I know you love them. I love them. I can't wait for the next episode. I can't say that enough. One quick little note. I thought about this today, and I was thinking about the beta because we're going to be doing this, and I was trying to think about why I enjoy this game so much, and hopefully you can relate to this. Back in 2004, a little game came out called World of Warcraft. You may have heard of it. It's quite possibly one of the biggest indie MMOs ever. But basically, what I enjoyed about that game was the leveling experience and not knowing what was going on. And I had a lot of fun because there was a thing called World PvP. And if someone was out there and they were malicious enough, they could hunt you down, they could camp you, and they could kill you. You could never get any progress. And it was both exciting and fun because sometimes when you were dead, you were forced to talk to random people and say like, hey, this rogue is killing me on South Shore. I just need someone to help me kill him, and then we can camp him. And that was great. You know, you had a lot of fun doing that kind of random stuff. And that's kind of what this game is like. This game is kind of like that feeling. You're going out into the world, into the unknown. You're having adventures and completing quests and finding treasure and getting loot. And then you get killed every once in a while and you're like, that sucks. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Well, you go out and you hunt them down too. You get some friends together, you get your own ship and you hunt them down, and then you steal their treasure. I can't relate it any better to that initial vanilla WoW experience that I had so long ago. It's such a good feeling to get out there and have some fun with this game. I really I can't. I was just thinking about that today, and I had to put it down in the notes before I forgot because there was no way I didn't want to spend at least a minute, just a hot minute, talking about it. All right, you sexy pirates out there. The last thing I got to talk about, we got another Sea of Thieves Inside Story. Number 25 was released today, and it had some really interesting stuff going on in there. Stuff that I think a lot of people that's been following this game kind of already knew about. We already had some ideas on what was going on. It wasn't too big of a surprise, but they had some little Easter eggs in there. But first, foremost, let's go over the video. It was a pretty hefty one as far as inside stories are concerned. They basically talked about character creation or creativity in this game, how you were going to customize things. So with the first topic that they talked about, they wanted to talk about the Infinite Pirate Generator, the IPG as they call it. And we kind of already knew this going in. You're going to get a carousel of pirates when you first start the game. They're all going to be randomly wonky, different body shapes, different sexes, different styles, and you kind of use that as like a base. And you get into the game and you can customize your pirate after you get into the game with different hair, different facial hair, different colors. It looks like we saw a pink pirate or hair on one of the characters. That was kind of fun. And you also get different, hooks, eye patches, peg legs, the typical pirate stuff that you'd expect. But they wanted to talk a little bit about how they built this system with the idea that they're going to be doing horizontal progression. They mentioned this a lot. They kept talking about how getting different reputation levels with each of the different companies is going to unlock different types of clothing. So you may have one hat that looks similar to another pirate's hat, but a different tint. And that tint may be a representation of a higher reputation level. So if you've got a red hat, and your hat is from the Order of Souls, and that blue hat guy over there looks at you and he's like, man, that guy kills a lot of skeletons. You're like, yeah, I kill a lot of skeletons. So that's just one of the things they kind of went over. We kind of knew a lot about this, especially if you've been playing the beta. We knew that, you were going to have a pirate and you kind of, kept going through the carousel of 8, and then you'd respawn like another 8 and see until you finally found what pirate finally kind of like gives you what you want out of a pirate, I guess. Your perfect pirate. We didn't hear anything about them attempting to create any kind of templates or being able to re-roll your body types if you want. Still a big issue in my mind. I'm not going to let that go until I see something that says that they're at least possibly looking at it maybe in the future. We'll see. One of the other things they talked about with the inside story was going to be what happens when you become a pirate legend, when you get your own ship. And we found out a bunch of different things about this. You're going to be able to customize your ship, your hull, your sails, the figurehead. All of those are going to be able to be changed when you become a pirate legend. And that's something that you can actually work out with your crew as well. Decide what you want your pirate legend ship to look like so that people start to get it. And this starts to bring a couple questions in my mind. One, how do people on other servers know your pirate ship? How often are you going to be running into the same people with this and the likelihood of that? We haven't seen anything as far as being able to choose specific servers. So I'm not really sure what the likelihood of me running into the same pirates out there to the point where they're like, oh, that's CaptainLogun's flag. I know that flag. I know those sails. I'm not going to mess with him because you don't want to mess with me. Actually, you might want to mess with me. I'm pretty much a big treasure hoarder. So just please don't mess with me. We also found out that ship customization isn't even going to be in the game when it launches. That's something that's coming later on in an update. So we'll get Krakens, we'll get pirate forts at launch, but as far as becoming a pirate legend and getting a customizable ship, that's going to be, so the pirate legend, that should be available at launch. I'm pretty sure that's going to be in there. But as far as the ship customization and getting your own ship, that's not yet. They haven't specified anything about when that update's coming, but we do know it's not going to be available right at launch. We may have to wait a month or so. So kind of a bummer, especially for the people that wanted to grind to get to that pirate legend to be able to start building that reputation. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get that right out the gate. While they were talking about how ship customization wasn't going to be coming till later, they started doing some footage of some of the different figureheads, hull colors, sail symbols I almost said a bad word there, sail symbols that we're going to be able to switch to. And we got a few new ones that we hadn't seen before. We saw lions, we saw skeleton heads, mer people, and probably my favorite thing, a waist up personification of Spinal from Killer Instinct. And it looks sick. I can't wait to get this one. Unless there's something that's even cooler than that, I think Spinal from Killer Instinct's going to be my choice for my ship when I eventually get it. So we already knew that we were getting a couple Easter eggs with Banjo-Kazooie and Perfect Dark as figureheads. So I'm really happy to see that they're willing to put more than just a couple IPs in there as Easter eggs for those figureheads. They've got great characters. I think this is hilarious. I think that Spinal is awesome. He fits right in with it, especially with some of the different versions of him throughout history. It's great. Please give us some more. Lastly, with this inside stories, we've got some conspiracy theorists out there that I am loving their ideas. So the last few that we've seen have had a pair of dice on a table. Well, that's nothing, Logan. Why would you care about a pair of dice? Well, these pair of dice have been showing the same two sides of the dice for a while. The 5 and the 3. Now, back in February, a lot of people were speculating that we were going to be getting something special on March 5th. That is next week. March 5th is very possibly an announcement of something to come. Possibly it's going to be like the open beta. I actually want to believe that it's actually going to be the 8th, that it's 3 and 5 together. So March 8th, they'll be announcing that they're going to have an open beta the next week for a full week. I really hope so. I hope that it goes a long time, and I hope that they're able to use a lot of data and the stuff that they've gotten with these scaling tests to be able to open it up to the public, so the public will actually get a chance to try out this game for free before getting it, so they can understand that it doesn't need narrative. You're the narrative. You're the person creating this story. I want to know your thoughts on this. I want to know if you think that it's right, if you think that it's crazy, if you think it's even something deeper. Let me know. The last thing I wanted to cover on today's docket is the Edge magazine cover that has an article on Sea of Thieves. It should be out now. I searched yesterday. I searched today. I've talked to some people in stores. No one has this in my area, so I'm really bummed out. I'm looking forward to it. It's got the Reaper's mark in gold on a black cover. It looks beautiful. I can't wait to get this so I can take a look and see what the article has to say about it. I imagine that there's going to be some stuff we already know, maybe a couple extra things here and there, but just the cover alone looks beautiful. And as far as I know, subscribers actually got a full gold cover, which looks so beautiful. Oh, I can't wait. I really want it. I think that's going to do it for me tonight. Pirates, I love you. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to contact me, I'm pretty much everywhere at CaptainLogun, CAPT_LOGUN on Twitter. On Xbox, hit me up, add me. I want to sail with you. CaptainLogun, all one word mashed together, just all spelt out. Give me a search. Let me know. I've got a little skeleton guy as a profile, so if you want to email me, it's CaptainLogun@gmail.com, CAPTLOGUN. It's not the same everywhere. I didn't get that lucky. So just let me know what you're thinking. I want to hear some of your guys' stories. I've got stories of my own, but I can't wait to hear about the guy that took on 2 other galleons, sharks, and a pirate captain with a powder keg and a pistol.